Hello my friends and welcome back. We are here on May 29th and we are here for a garden tour. We have had some changes in the garden this week that I just want to note firsthand. I did end up buying a few herbs because I needed them because I'm just not happy with where especially my basils are right now. So I got more basil. And then it's in a container, so I promise you, I know it's invasive. It will never be in my garden beds, but it is in a container. I bought spearmint and, not spearmint, peppermint, just a standard peppermint, and then a mojito or like mint julep type of mint that's a little bit like a sweet mint. And several more peppers that I've never heard of, but they sound really cool and I liked how pretty their leaves were, so I got peppers as well. And we're just kind of gonna go fast today because it is a holiday weekend, but I do not want to miss a week. So without further ado, let's get on the garden tour. All right, walking with me. Also to note, this week's goal, plant out my rosemary, plant out the creeping, like crop cover kind of stuff, but for my pollinator garden, lavender needs to be planted, salvia needs to be planted. All of my tomatoes here, I'm going to save one tray. I'm going to just fill it up with multiple varieties and donate it to a Boys and Girls Club here in town, and the rest are going to go in the compost to help me make good compost for this coming year when I'm in the beds. So coming on out. Let's start at the very back today. That's my favorite part. Feels so majestic walking through my green stalks. Plus I need to find out where garden kitties run off to. Oh, ha. Spot the kitty. She's in her happy spot. So just kind of coming back here because I don't come back here a lot because it's a hot mess. Goal, cleaning up this because this will eventually be where we're going to put just a static coop with a run, and I want to do a built-in one or like a 9 by 15, 10 by 15 kennel of some sort with a coop in it. But here right now is my lovely elderberry plant. It is a Bob Gordon variety, and it just started 3 years ago out of just a little propagated stem, and my greenhouse is 6'3" or 6'4" tall, and that is clearly taller than the greenhouse by now, so I'd say it's around 7 feet tall, maybe a little bit more, but it is looking glorious. And look how beautiful these flowers are. All of those will become elderberries, but this is what elderberries actually look like in their flower state before they actually become berries. So I thought I'd share that this time. Also, I did donate this year to the Arbor Society, the like tree foundation. So as you can see, I do have random trees in this bed. I just needed somewhere to plant them. The goal this week though is to weed this bed. Here is my Moon and Stars watermelon, which I am going to be mulching and allowing to grow outside the bed. And then this is my Blacktail Mountain watermelon plant here. And I'm assuming this one's also probably a blacktail because it doesn't have the spots like the Moon and Stars does. So those spots are supposed to be there on the leaves. And then I just got some standard zucchini over here. I think it's Black Beauties. Let's see. Yeah, Black Beauty zucchini. So just starting to keep an eye out for any type of pest, but what you can do is flip the sides up of your leaves, and that's where you check for the eggs when you have squash bug issues like we do here. Garden kitty just chilling. Hey, Belly. You want to say hi to the world? Huh? Belly? Yeah, such a sweet girl. All right. This is my favorite spot in the afternoon because it's shady and I can just admire things. But I got some zinnias that we transplanted in because my zinnias, something's just been eating them. And I love zinnias in the garden, so I bought more. My green beans are definitely looking very healthy. I need to come in and take out all this lettuce, honestly, because I have planted squash with the intention of succession planting all of this. And I think for this trellis system, because all in here is going to be vining squash, I'm just going to let it vine in the bed. And then I want to do runner beans up this side of the trellis. Ginger is looking amazing. Also, side note, I do have a shade garden in the backyard. It is mostly just different types of hostas that I have gotten over the years from my parents' property. But it is slowly getting there. My goal would be to add a few more hostas where the polar vortex definitely froze things. I've got a red bud tree, like just a sprig in the ground right there. And then a dogwood. Nope, that's the red bud. And the one over there is the dogwood, because that's a red bud. And then another red bud's like right there. And then this red bud we planted the year we moved in the house, which is 2017. And that's my daughter's favorite place to play right now. And Kitty is getting comfortable in her favorite shade spot. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the nasturtiums. I did find a batch recipe of nasturtium pesto, and you can like make little pucks of it. So like you can just throw it in. You can freeze them and then throw them in as you need them, which I thought that was really cool. But I've never done that before. Over here, I think I gave wrong information last time. Ugh, sorry, bug on my shoulder. I'm pretty sure this is the Great North red bell pepper. And I think I called it jalapenos last time, but the jalapenos are in the other lettuce bed right now. And then my purple bush beans. I really do want to try some pink Tanya's beans, but finding them still is kind of hard. I know I do Kalima, I do the old Homestead, and I tried a new one this year. And then in the past I've always done the dragon bush beans, but this year I didn't, mainly because I didn't eat any last year. I just grew them because they were pretty. So this year's more about things I'm going to use. And look, my little, I think this is called Playtime? Yeah, Playtime calendula. So I've got a lot of that over in the other bed too. But the goal with the calendula is definitely, and I'll make a video on this in the future, but I want to collect the petals and make like a skin salve that'll be, or a balm for those who call it a balm. I want to make basically something for my skin to help with minor cuts and bruises and just overall keeping me with my youthful glow. The pepper wall is going amazingly though. I did throw in another zinnia here and over here. Just because once again I love flowers in the garden. Looks like my flower is so close. We've been watching this guy each week and we are so close to seeing the beautiful petals now. My wall of peas. This variety will be getting the remainder harvested this week and pulled out because over here my Sugar Rush peaches, they're just not getting enough sunlight because of this wall, and I'm not eating these peas as frequently as I am the springtime blush and the magnolias. We did harvest a lot of kale this last week, and we dehydrated it for, like, if you like Cool Ranch Doritos, I do a similar take on that because my daughter and my partner will eat them that way. But you just take the actual like ranch like powder, and you can put it on dehydrated kale, and I spray it with a little bit of avocado spray, and it is delicious. Honestly, I do use my dehydrator. I do not put it in the oven, and this is coming from many times burning the kale because the oven just is too hot for me to really enjoy it. I will say so far on the tomato update, my tomatoes are killing it now that they're in ground. These are the black brandywines. They're just looking so much healthier than any of the container tomatoes I am growing. So I think that kind of has spoke truth of I need to do my tomatoes in the ground next year. I might throw some of those from over that are still seed starts in the ground as I pull up the rest of the kale as it goes. Oh, look. So this is the Four Seasons, and you can see there it's going to be putting off its flowers soon, and then I can harvest the seeds, and I'm going to pull the rest. I'm only keeping this guy and this guy, and I'm going to pull the rest of them because I've already put the jalapeno peppers in this bed, and I can tell because all my jalapeno peppers had some bug damage. They're recovering, but you still can tell a difference. I know it's those little white butterfly things that are flying around, but my eggplant is definitely starting to suffer. And that's just, it happens every year for me. It's still staying strong. I'll probably pick off, actually I'll just do it while we're here. I'm gonna pick off the blooms for these guys because I really want this plant to focus on healthy new growth instead of trying to produce fruit. But yeah, here's one of the new, I think that one's just the standard basil. And then I've also got, and you can see the difference here. So this is the one I bought from the nursery. Here's the one I grew by seed, the Emily basil. And I love basil, so I want it in my garden. I'm very excited this year for basil tea and infusing Italian seasoning oils for gifts for family members. The Amish paste has been doing okay. I have been having some aphid issues, and while the ladybugs have been helping, that doesn't rectify it. So you can see here, if you look really close, those little white guys are aphids. So I think what I'm gonna do is just go in and start doing light spraying with neem oil because it is starting to spread on a multitude of plants. Yet having this break right here and then those two plants, no aphids. So always something to do in the garden. Garlic, ooh, I saw this morning. So these are scapes. And when you have garlic scapes, you need to actually go through, and I'll do this later with my scissors, and slice and cut here. Just to give it a few more weeks on the garlic because it is not ready to pull. But yeah, I see scape here, another scape. And so you can actually cook with them, and I do intend to cook with them. I'm actually gonna put them in an oil infusion as well to have a garlic olive oil. So here's the bed that started all the changes though. I've got a lot of peppers I bought because I'd never heard of them. So one of them, here we go, is called the Count Dracula. And the leaves are what got me. It's just such a pretty dark, like almost black purple. And then the lemon drop pepper, and I think there's one in here. Yeah, it's called Tricked You. And I'm wondering if it looks like a sweet pepper, but it's like ridiculously hot. So yeah, we've got my Hatch chili peppers and my Anaheim peppers. I'm letting the Tom's Thumb lettuce go to seed as well, but I have pulled the rest that I could find. I've got a random cabbage that survived, which actually surprises me, and then a bunch of kale here and my chamomile here. Gonna be dumping these 2 buckets into the compost. The nasturtium really needs to be trimmed. Sorry about that, guys. It's just very full and I want to keep it healthy, so I need to trim back all the yellow stuff. And look at these roses. So just for size. They're looking gorgeous and I cannot wait till it's July and they're up tall, up over the arbor. I'm a sucker for a pretty rose. But yeah, it's gonna be a quick tour today. Potatoes, they are starting to flower, which is awesome. At least the purple potatoes are, because these are purple fingerlings. The nasturtium once again is looking full, and the dill is going crazy. The dill is actually starting to get ready to put on some flowers. Don't know if you can see that in the shade. And then the volunteer calendula back here is also about to explode with flower heads. And the chamomile, which is awesome. So yeah, just a really quick tour for you guys today. Not gonna really go too much into the tomatoes, but I am making it a goal to layer them with straw, because I still have room in them, like a good 3-4 inches with straw, and then put on some more soil in the bags because they need more soil at this point. They need more nutrition. And then finish the top of the bags with more of the garden straw, just so it's keeping its water, because I'm having to water it every day, which is expected with cloth and plastic bags. And some varieties are thriving with this method. Like honestly, the Dr. Witchies are looking good. The purple Cherokees are looking good. The pink Brandywines, their color on the leaves look good, but they're still a lot smaller than the rest of the tomatoes. The Abe Lincolns are doing great. My Paul Robesons, though, are struggling. So that's kind of where I'm at. But here, once you get squinty, you guys are getting squinty-eyed, Lauren, but I wanted to share really fast. So this is the peppermint, and then I've also got oregano in here as well. But I just love having, let's see, it's so hard to see, it's so bright. I love having the peppermint here in the mojito mix because I can just grab it as I walk by and smell it, and it just smells so fresh. It makes me so happy. Good question is though, found the garden kitty. Bella! Hey, Pepe. Do people want to see you? Yeah, right here. Yeah? Are you having fun? Is this your favorite day of the week? Yeah. Well, sorry, I'm squatting here by the compost, which there's my compost design. We just repurposed all the center blocks, and we had some 4x4s because we used to use them as sitting benches around the fire pit as well. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us today, and just make sure to go outside and get dirty this summer. Bye.